Hello, everyone. This is Caleb Warnock, and I was outside in one of the greenhouses, and there were some beautiful nasturtium flowers, and I stuck them in my pocket with some nasturtium leaves, hoping that after it got dark, which it now has, that I could come in and we could make paint together. So that's what we're doing. Unfortunately, these nasturtium flowers have wilted somewhat. Um, So they don't. I mean, I just mentioned that because when I'm trying to show them to you here on the camera, they don't look so great, but they will still make perfectly fine paint. So I've just added a few drops of water, probably five. I think I wasn't counting because I was talking. Um, 5 drops of water, and this is one whole nasturtium flower that I have taken off of its base. And I'm just going to squish and then mull, and whoop, there goes my light cover. I'll have this cover on this light so that we don't have such a glare, and you have never seen such a problem trying to get this. I looked on the internet and it says cover it with parchment paper or silk. Well, we're fresh out of silk. Darn it all. Where did all of our silk go? So I grabbed some parchment paper, and apparently tape will not stick to parchment paper. Who knew? I did not know that. So it keeps falling off. Okay, so this is orangey browny red. So I want to put some ascorbic acid in this. Okay, I just went and grabbed the ascorbic acid and put you guys on pause for a second. And then I've come back and I've just noticed um, that I believe I'm filming upside down again. There we go. I should change the name of this channel to Filming Upside Down because I seem to film upside down every single time. All right, so, and I don't know if you guys noticed that, but when I put that ascorbic acid, which is just vitamin C powder, and I've said in previous videos, just get that from the canning aisle of your grocery store. And when I put that in here, it had, when I originally ground this up, it was orange, and then it immediately started to oxidize and turn brownish. And as soon as I put that ascorbic acid back in, or in there, it started to turn orange again. And that's what we want, which is great. And so I'm going to scrape this over here, and then I would like to take a little bit of this and add some citric acid to the ascorbic acid, and let's see. I believe it's been a long time since it's been probably, I don't know, it's probably been 9 months since I last made paint out of nasturtium flowers. And so I don't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure we can change this red by adding this citric acid in here. So we're going to find out right now. And it is not changing it red, it is changing it to maybe nothing, maybe not changing it at all. That does not look changed to me. Then let's take some of another piece here and let's add baking soda, and let's add baking soda and see what color that is. We'll just have to, I could look all this up, but it would take longer to look it up because it's somewhere on my computer, because I do have a book coming out about this, but it's not out yet. Once my book is out, it would be so easy to look up the colors and see. Oh, see, that's changing. Would you say that's a brown or a green? I don't know. I can't tell. So one of these days, you guys, I'll be able to tell you, but my book is not going to be out for like another year or something. It takes a long time to even lay out full color. It's full color on every page. It's got, a couple thousand photos and a couple thousand. I mean, it's got a lot. I don't know. We'll see how much. Right now, the publisher and I are trying to work out how much can we fit in the book. And they told me not to worry about it, just let them begin laying it out, and we will see. We'll make some decisions once we have to make decisions. So, all right, well, this is baking soda and this is hydrated lime, and neither one of them, they both look sort of a brownish greenish. I have, using masking tape, laid out two trees here because it is Christmas season. And so I just thought, well, I would like to do Christmas trees. So this is, I don't know, what would you say that is? Kind of a peachy. And this is citric acid and ascorbic acid both in with the ground up nasturtium flower. Oh, see, there went my light cover again. I don't know what to do about this. And then let's try, does one of these look better than the other? Maybe not. Actually, this is what we should do. Once this dries, I'll use one of these because I was thinking of making stripes because, and maybe I should show you this. We went to our daughter and son-in-law's house. Oh, I don't know. It's probably been a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. And they sent something home with us on this plate. And I thought these were fun. So I thought we could try to make stripes on here. Obviously, it's not going to look Christmassy because these are not Christmas colors, but still kind of a fun thing to try. So this is my inspiration, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. This is the thing that is the thing I would like to try, I guess. This looks a lot like salmonberry. I have made paint out of salmonberry before, and this looks a lot like salmonberry. So I don't know that that matters, and there goes my light cover again. Maybe you're just going to take this off. Okay, I've taken the light cover off, and hopefully it won't glare too much because I don't know what else to do. These are the pitfalls of trying to film for YouTube. I don't know how to do all this stuff. Okay, I'm just cleaning up a little bit here because it would be nice to see, and I cannot remember if I have ever done nasturtium leaf paint before or not, but I thought it would be fun to try it. So I'm going to take, because it would be nice if this one was green, and then we could make contrasting stripes over here with this brown paint. So I have just put in about 4 drops of water. I'm using about half of a leaf because some nasturtium leaves are quite large. So that one happens to be pretty large. And that's a nice color of green. I think we need another drop of water. Where did my spatula go? I'm sorry to reach in front of the camera. If I were a good camera person, I guess I would move that stuff. I just don't know where to move it to because there's such limited space on this desk. I went and bought this desk and built this studio with the lighting and the audio and the foam, just so that the acoustic foam, so that I could record better. So hopefully it's working. Hopefully you guys think this, I'm just adding a little more water. Hopefully you guys think this is a decent quality video. And I have ordered a new camera. It's going to be here later this week. And okay, that is a nice green, and those nasturtium leaves dissolve nicely under the pressure of the molar. Here's the glass molar that I'm using. And I'm just wiping that clean because we don't want stuff to dry on there. And here is my paintbrush. I'm going to go ahead and take some of this green nasturtium leaf paint. I think that's a nice color. See, no matter where I reach, I'm kind of reaching in front of the camera, so I just apologize for that. And I appreciate you guys being patient with me, internet. Thank you for that. I assume you're going to be patient with me because I haven't released any of these videos yet. One of these days I'm going to have to actually release them, but it's kind of scary to think about actually releasing the videos, so I haven't done it yet. Is that terrible or what? Okay, I think I'm going to go blow dry these really quick. Okay, so I put you guys on pause and I used the blow dryer to dry this, and it's dry now. And so I'm thinking maybe what I will do is I don't know, it's hard to decide what. I guess we need to look at this again because this has got a plaid, and I don't know how we would do plaid. And then this has got stripes. There, you guys can see that. And stripes, obviously, we can do pretty easily. And then this has got some kind of weird leopard print, which I don't totally understand, but whatever. So let's just try to do stripes on the green one. And usually when I do stripes, I try to use a spacer, and I'm trying to think of what spacer I could use. I mean, I guess I could use this as a spacer. Okay, here's a way to do. I'll just show you how I normally do this spacer. I take a piece like this, and then I take a piece that is a little shorter, like maybe an inch shorter, and then I turn this over so the sticky side is up and put the shorter piece right in the center, like that, and then put this down, and now it's only sticky on the two ends, and I can use that as my spacer. Do we think that is spaced correctly? And then I can put this right up against there and seal it down with my finger so that the edges are sealed down, because otherwise the paint will go underneath it, and then put my spacer on top of that again, tack it down at the edges, and then put another piece of tape. And this is how I make my, what I call quilts, which you guys have not, but those quilts are kind of large art projects. And you guys have not seen me do a quilt yet. I call them quilts because they kind of look like quilts, but they're made out of botanical paint. But I don't know what else to call them, so I call them quilts. Should we try that? I mean, that looks okay, doesn't it? Now, of course, where I have put this is going to be negative space. So we're going to add a layer over the top like this. And I guess because we have put that down, I was going in that space like that, but we could just paint over the whole thing like this, like we did originally. And then we need to let that dry. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then I think another coat, don't you? Good people of the internet, do you think another coat? So probably let that dry a little bit and put a third coat on there just so that we have good contrast. And then maybe I'll do the same thing over here, only I will do it I'm gonna do the stripes horizontally, I'm sorry, vertically instead of horizontally, like I did on that one. So I'm just using my spacer piece, which I'm just reusing over and over again. And I'm gonna go ahead and put this, I'm gonna try to put this sort of straight up and down, as straight up and down as I can get it, like this, and then put my spacer back in and then do another one. And these different size of tapes I've got from various places, some from the dollar store, but the most of them came from Amazon. There's a packet. Okay, that kind of looks weird, doesn't it? I don't know if that's gonna work because this whole thing is mostly covered, and yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. Okay, so we'll take this tape off and try to figure out something else to do. Oftentimes, I will do a whole practice run before I film, but I didn't have enough. I only brought in 2 nasturtium flowers, and it's freezing cold outside, and it's dark, and I can't open the greenhouse after dark. After the temperature goes below freezing, I can't open the greenhouse. So we're kind of stuck with 2 flowers. There were only, on my nasturtium, there were only, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 flowers, and I usually eat one every day because I go out in my greenhouse every day and have a little salad on the hoof, what my friends call a salad on the hoof. Meaning that I just go out and eat raw stuff right out of my greenhouse. And so I didn't want to take all my nasturtium flowers to make paint out of because I'm eating them. So maybe that's a little silly, I don't know. But I enjoy them and I didn't want to bring them all. I didn't want to eat, I didn't want them all to disappear. Of course, they'll just, grow more, but it'll take, a week to get new flowers in bloom on there. So I don't know. Now I'm just messing this up. I'm trying to figure out a way to make this stripe work in this direction. So let me, without this looking totally bizarre, do we think that works? I think that's probably okay. I'm going to rip the end of that off because this piece didn't quite go as far as I needed it to. Okay. All right. Let's take some of this brown and we'll paint over, and maybe it'll be ugly with the brown, but it will have made stripes at any rate. All right. Now that needs to dry. This is not dry, obviously, because I just painted it on there. Let me take this back to the blow dryer. Okay, I dried that with the blow dryer. Let's add yet another layer of green on here. And we're almost out of green, so that kind of works out perfectly. And if we leave a little bit of these streaks in there, I think it just makes it look more like a tree. Now I'm going to clean this off my Muller slab because it is rapidly drying. The heater's on in the house and the air in the house is dry. So things dry quickly. Okay, and this we can take off. because it is dry. And we'll see if this tree just looks weird. It might look weird. I may have to, one of these days in a video, show you guys my real art because you guys are just going to think that this is the best art that I can do. But you know, real art takes weeks or months on one picture to make, and so it's not like I can, it would be really hard to film a video of me making real art. Plus, it wouldn't be very many videos, would it? If I was just filming that. And real art is more stressful to make. And kind of the point of this, to me, is to just relax a little bit. Okay, I mean, it's a little strange, but I guess whatever. It's not as ugly as I thought it would be. Okay, let's take these contrasting stripes off and see. Oh, it peeled the paper. What can you do? Oh, it's making a mess. Maybe I need to go slow. I mean, you can see there that it did make a contrast, which is nice. So we do have stripes on our tree. However, now we have, I may have to go in and infill paint that a little bit because that tree got a little clobbered. All right, let's try this. We're just gonna pull that off. And I, I smudged somehow I smudged some paint over here. Oh, we can't. Oh, I was gonna say I need to infill that, but I can't even infill it because I don't have any paint left. I guess we could make a little more paint real quick because I really don't want to leave the tree like that. Damaged. To 2 drops of water. And maybe 1 more drop of water because that's pretty dry. And it is pulverized. And there's the paint. And this is just one layer. Let's try to do it really carefully and see. Because if I go out of the lines, then it's not going to have the shape. Okay, I feel pretty good about that. And there's still a little rip showing in that section. I'm just going to go over it with the brush really carefully. I feel like that kind of fixes it. What do you guys think? I mean, obviously I don't want to put too much paint on here because then it won't contrast anymore. But I also don't want that rip in there. And this got cut off a little bit, but I think that's okay. Now, let's put a little bit of the soda in. Did I wipe this off? I better wipe my molar clean so that it's not drying on my molar. Let's put a little bit of baking soda, just the tiniest dusting of baking soda, and mold that in so that we can make more brown, so that we can have brown for the tree trunks, although these are not realistic trees, so I guess we could do any color. Okay, that baking soda, I guess I didn't put enough in because this paint is still green. Okay, well, that's a lot of baking soda. That's really, honestly, too much baking soda. Let's see what happens. Okay, it's still green. Why is it still green? I don't understand. We just did this and it turned brown. I'm going to put hydrated lime in and see. Sometimes it just needs a minute to oxidize. Maybe it just needs a minute to oxidize. I don't know. Seemed like it happened pretty fast though when we did it before. This, I guess, is the thing about using botanical paint is that it is just, look at that. That is not changing to brown at all. What did I do? I thought that's all I did last time. Okay, you guys. I don't know why it's not changing. Let's make, let's make, do you think it would be nice to make sort of a square, like a, not a square, like a triangle base on here? Because that's what I'm doing. I don't know. Now they kind of look like mushrooms. That was not the look I had intended. I don't know what I intended exactly, but mushrooms was not really what I was looking for. Oh well. Okay, let's, I mean, anyway, we made something. I don't know exactly what to do with that. I do have from a previous video sitting here, I have some of this paint left from the hibiscus video. So maybe I will just take these dried hibiscus petals out of here, set them aside for a moment because they can be reused because obviously they still have color in them. You can just tell by looking at them. And get this brush so it's not too wet because we don't want to dilute this color, but I'll put a red base like a like the ground that they are sitting on is going to be, I was going to say it's going to be red, but I guess in reality when it dries it's probably going to be pink. But also it's kind of turning blue. It is definitely turning blue right there. So just pretend that that's exactly what we wanted. That's what I tell my friends. That's exactly how we wanted it when we're doing something in the garden or in the greenhouse and it doesn't work out exactly the way we thought it was going to. I say, don't worry about it. I'm always trying to lighten the mood. My grandmother taught me that. She said the way our family deals with really serious topics is to make jokes about it. And that was true her entire life. And so my wife and I were at some restaurant the other day because we were delivering a greenhouse to someone. And I told my wife that if she would come and help me deliver the greenhouse, then I would take her to lunch at this restaurant that we like, that we almost never go to because it's far away from our house, but it was by the place where we were having to deliver. And while I was at the salad bar, because this restaurant has a really great salad bar, I love it a lot. And while I was at the salad bar, this woman, they had just mopped the floor. There's a little ramp down, and there's a brick oven in the restaurant. And um, this by the salad bar, there's an indoor brick oven that they cook some stuff in. And I guess they just mopped the floor, and there was one of those yellow signs on there that said, caution or whatever. And this woman came down the ramp and she just went boom, and her legs went out from under her, and she went down hard and hit her head and hit her back, and she landed at my feet. you know? And so it's like all this just happened, like all of a sudden, just happened so fast. And so I looked down at her and I said, "Are you okay, ma'am?" And she looked very dazed. And I said, "Can I help you up?" And she said, "No, no, I can't get up. I don't want to get up. I don't want to get up. I just need to sit here for a second." And I said, it just comes out of my mouth. I just said, "Well, there's no extra charge for the slip and slide ride today." And I thought I was funny, but the poor woman, obviously wasn't in the mood. But anyway, I just thought it just comes out of my mouth. That's because my grandmother taught me that that's how we deal with it. And so as soon as there's a difficult situation, I just start making jokes. Anyway, I don't know why I'm sharing that story with you. It just reminded me of that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have no idea what to do with these weird mushrooms that we've made. And you see how I've included you guys in that. We made this together. I can't be fully to blame, can I, for these ugly mushroom trees? I'm just adding a little more water to these hibiscus petals so that in case I want more red paint at some point, there will be some sitting there. Maybe this is just all we can do with this. I don't know. It's kind of ugly. But the point is that it was fun to make the paint. It was fun to make the paint. And I can't really think of a way to salvage this to make it any better than it is. So we may just have to give up. Isn't it interesting, though, that that hibiscus petal has now turned sort of a purpley blue at the bottom. So just pretend this is the illustration for some strange children's story and pretend that this is exactly how we wanted it to come out. And then in a previous video, you guys have seen me use my vine black. It's made out of grapevines. And I feel like maybe outlining, I don't know, is this just going to make this worse? Probably. Should I put a black line down there? Or should I outline these with black? Or should I just give up altogether? I don't know. Probably I should just give up altogether because what is it going to add some black to this? It's not going to make it look, I don't think it's going to make it look any better. Okay. So we have one more nasturtium flower here. Maybe it would be fun to take part of this flower and I'm just taking the base off and the side petals off, although maybe we could just use those. I don't know. Let's put a little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drops of water on there. This is fairly clean. And this time I want to put some alum and see if that makes it more red because we haven't tried alum yet. So there's a little bit of alum and I'm just squishing. And I don't know if you can see, but that's kind of a yellowish orange, but that will probably change. And it is just going brown again like it did the first time. So I'm going to add a little ascorbic acid, just a tiny dusting of ascorbic acid, which is vitamin C, powdered vitamin C. And there it's changing back to orange again. We need one more drop of water. And let's just turn this page. And maybe if I had a bigger brush, that brush might be too big. I'm thinking let's do that whole thing again, only let's use an orange background and just do green trees. What do you guys think? Do you think that's okay? I feel like this almost needs a little more ascorbic acid and maybe also a little citric acid because it's still a little darker brown than I wanted. Oh, maybe that's why it didn't change green. Oh, because this was this. Oh, because that wasn't green anyway. That's why it didn't change. Okay. Well, at least I know I'm not crazy. Okay, I'm gonna put a little citric acid. I don't know. You guys can vote in the comment section. This might be the worst video I've ever filmed, but we don't have to be stressed out. We can just do it anyway because this is real life. I mean, most people who are putting videos on YouTube are trying really hard not to show you the actual process of making videos or the actual process of making paintings. And I could, I suppose, like make more of a plan, but my plan was I was outside and I saw the nasturtium flowers and I thought that would be fun to make paint out of. And so that was the whole plan. That was all the plan I had. And then I saw this plate and I thought, we'll use nasturtium flowers to make these weird trees. They won't be Christmassy, but nevertheless. So what I've done on here is I've put water across the paper because I didn't want this orange to be too thick or too dark. So I am putting wet onto wet just so that I can dilute that color a little bit. And then I'm thinking more of a deeper color up at the top and an ombre to a lighter color toward the bottom. Why not? Just for fun. And then I'll dry it and we will put green trees over the top of it using the masking tape. Okay, maybe I should, just with whatever we have left here, because now I have figured out my mistake from before, I'll just put some hydrated lime in here and we'll try to make a little bit of brown to go on the ground here. Oh, do you know what else we could do? To extend this color a little bit is put a little bit of iron. Oh, I have some homemade iron in the kitchen too. I think we'll have to do that in a different video. Okay, so I've added a little bit of iron, a little bit of hydrated lime. Hydrated lime is a form of calcium. And there's that brown that I was so frustrated about a minute ago. I couldn't figure out why that green wasn't turning brown. It's because it was never the green that was turning brown in the first place. Okay, so I'm going to paint like a ground layer here on the bottom. Just using what little bit of this is left. Okay, done. And I'm gonna clean this up. Uh, okay, and I'm gonna go do a blow dryer on this and I will be right back. Okay, you guys, look how crazy this is. As soon as I hit this with the blow dryer, this really started to go a nice dark brown. And this looks really good too. So let's take some of this thinner tape and let's make, I think, a grouping of 3 trees. We'll make a tall one here on the left. Seal that edge down. So there's one tree. Then we'll make one about a 3/4 height on this side, and then we'll put a shorter one in the center. How does that sound? Okay. Seal that edge. And then this might be a little too long, so pull that off a little bit. What do you think? You think that's okay? And how far above the ground do we want this ending? Let's put that right there. And we'll put this right here. And then let's take our leaf and we'll just tear this up a little bit. Isn't it interesting that whatever mordant I put in the leaf before, it did not turn colors at all? I don't know, that was maybe 5 drops of water. I'm just starting to crush it. Let's put a little bit of alum. Alum is on the baking aisle of the grocery store and with the spices. Let's put a tiny bit of alum just because alum can help the color to resist fading. And now that I've put the alum in, I think it needs another drop or two of water. However, I'm almost reluctant to add any water at all because this is such a deep green. This is a deeper green than we made a minute ago. So maybe no water for the moment. Look at that. That's great. That's a really nice paint. Thick paint. Uh-oh, I'm knocking over my water bottle. My water cup. I mean, it literally is a mason jar. Clean the molar. Okay. Now, that is the paintbrush with the black on it, which we don't want. Let's, we'll work from left to right. How about that? I could use a bigger brush, but a bigger brush just absorbs and wastes more paint. I didn't put a bottom piece on here, so I'm not sure how far down should I have that tree go? Probably not very far, huh? Maybe it should stop higher than the others, in which case we would want to take care of that right now. So maybe right here will be the bottom of that tree. Just trying to make sure I've got pretty good coverage. And I think I do. Maybe I could make like a little bit of a pattern with my brush in this tree. We'll just do it in one tree. There we go. Look, I made a pattern. Washing out the brush, cleaning off the spatula. And I'm gonna go hit this with the blow dryer, and then we're gonna have to figure out what to do with the trunks. Okay, I dried this, and I think we will carefully peel these off. And then I will use tape and outline some trunks, and I'll paint the trunks in black, I've decided. Just go slow when you pull this off, because you guys just saw a minute ago, sometimes when you pull it off, it pulls the paper with it, which is not what we're trying to do. See if I can get an edge of this. And I'll hold this down and just go slow. And I can hear that it is maybe tearing the paper a little bit. Did it tear the paper, or is it just a piece? Oh, it's just an extra. It tore the tape, which is fine. Okay. And careful, careful, slow, slow, slow. I mean, that looks really good. I think that looks really good. I'm just throwing these little bits of dirty painted tape away as I go. I have, believe it or not, tried to make my own homemade botanical tape to no avail. I haven't had any success. I haven't been able to find anyone on the internet who has ever made tape out of natural ingredients. So if you guys know of anyone who knows how to make tape out of natural ingredients, then let me know. All right. Let's take this, because I think I want the trunk of the tree to go up into the tree and down into the soil, which means that this has got to be a little longer. And that was not very straight. How about something like that? And this one goes up into the sky a little more, so it's going to have to go a little longer. And I think this one I will make thinner also. The trunk will be a little thinner. And I'm trying not to make these absolutely parallel lines, because I think that's too on point, don't you? And I really like the texture that I put into this trunk. Or not trunk, the main body of the tree with my brush. I think that turned out really nice. And it's nice to have one that is, different than the other two. Okay. Brush, where is my black paint? My black, here it is right here. My vine black made out of grapevines, and it's grapevines that have been kilned in the wood-fired pottery kiln, and then it has sunflower oil and a little bit of water and a little bit of liquid pine, which is methyl sal. Methyl sal is made from pine trees. I don't know how far up into that tree I want to go. Oh, this is maybe needs to be mixed up a little bit. This is probably at least 6 months old, this paint. It's just been sitting here in this jar with the lid closed. And so it seems to have separated out a little bit. Okay, what do you think? Should we pull it? Is it too soon to pull it? Does it need to dry more? Oh, I like it. I like that a lot. Okay, look, I'm getting paint on me, black paint, which should be totally fine, except that it's kind of sticky because it's got a little bit of that sunflower seed oil in it. So I don't want to smear that all around the painting for sure. And paint made with sunflower seed oil takes about a day to dry. It's not like actual, I mean, you can make actual oil paint out of it, and I have, but normally I would use walnut oil to make real oil paint out of botanical colors. Okay, I like that a lot. Again, it's kind of simplistic. And I'm tempted to put just a few lines, like horizontal lines, but I don't know. It kind of is painted to look like decoupage, and so I think I should probably resist the temptation and just leave it alone because, as I've said in other videos, the whole thing about art is knowing when to stop. Um, I'm also tempted to put a little blush of red down here at the bottom. And I probably shouldn't do that either, but a minute ago I did put a little more water into these hibiscus petals, and so I do have some red paint here, and it would almost be fun to, but these are not fully dry, and they're not going to be fully dry for at least a day because they've got sunflower oil in them, so I probably should not do that. Maybe what I will do is just put a little bit of that red down here. Do you think I should do that? I mean, it wouldn't hurt. My dogs are barking. I apologize if you guys can hear that in the background. My dogs are going crazy. I tell my wife when the dogs are acting naughty, they're her dogs. So I should say my wife's dogs, even though I'm the one that wanted to get the new puppy. The problem is that this hasn't been soaking very long and it's pretty diluted, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So it's not going to make a dark pink. Maybe I'll make it just touch the bottom of the trunks in a serpentine line. See, this is where it is knowing when to stop because maybe I'm making it worse. Maybe I'm making it better. Maybe I'm making it worse, you know? I don't know. I think it's finished anyway. I like that this has added sort of another layer dimension in here. I wish I had gone a little farther because I don't like that white space right there, and I do have a wet brush here. Maybe I could wet this and make it move over a little bit, but that'll probably just make cauliflowering on the paper, which is not really what I want. But it is bothering me, that little piece there. Okay. Well, that's a little bit better. I do think that looks a little bit better. Okay, everyone. I think I will call that. I think we'll just say that this is done. So the green is the leaf of the nasturtium, the orange is the petal of the nasturtium, the black is vine black. I put a little bit of hibiscus petal down here, and this brown is the hibiscus or the nasturtium petal with a little bit of iron and hydrated lime in it. And I think this is going to look more and more interesting as it dries. That red is turning a little bit purpley. Wherever you guys are and whatever you've been doing today, I hope that you have found this to be fun and relaxing to watch, and I hope it encourages you to go out in your yard and in your neighborhood and in your community and also your friends' houses and backyards and see what you can get to make paint out of. And if you find something interesting, let me know in the comments. And the youth say, please like and subscribe. So I'm trying to learn from them. Apparently, the all-knowing algorithm really uh, doesn't let other people know about my videos unless you guys hit that like button. And of course, you're welcome to subscribe, which costs nothing. And so please like and subscribe if you think this is valuable or interesting so that other people can see it too. I appreciate you guys so much. I hope that wherever you're at today, you have sufficient, that you are comfortable, that you are warm, that it's cold here. So I hope that we're all in good stead wherever we're at. And thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks, friends. Goodbye.